Uh-oh. He's the zombie. What do we have here? Okay. Where? Why can't I move? So she's seeing what Yuki was seeing. Sachiko Shinozaki, the little girl in the red dress and the only survivor of the horrific murders that occurred in Heavenly Host Elementary School. Following the incident, Sachiko's family fled from the area, moving to another prefecture to escape the frightful memories that remained here. Strangely, however, I've been unable to locate any records or any other records of the Shinozaki family. No matter where I look, the only information I can find about them comes from newspaper reports on the Heavenly Host murders. Granted, when an elementary school becomes the stage for a grisly incident such as this, perpetrated by none other than the principal's own son, it stands to reason that the scandal would serve as the primary focus for public interest, with all other details fading into the background. So of course, after learning that Sachiko was safe, further news of her whereabouts was largely ignored in favor of the media circus surrounding the school. But there's more to it than that. People weren't just uninterested in learning of Sachiko's history or whereabouts. There was simply no data to be had. I can't move my body because of sleep paralysis, I guess. But I can clearly see the room I'm in now. There's one boy and two girls in here, aside from myself. I've recognized them. They're the children who were killed in Heavenly Host during the incident, or that incident, but they're still alive. Unfortunately, they're all bound hand and foot and just sprawled out on the floor, and so am I. That's the real reason I can't move. Somebody please save me. Yoshikazu. Oh, no, stop. No, please, no. Eyes. I can't see. Now I'm blindfolded. I can't see a thing that's happening to me. And since my hands and feet are tied up, I can't remove the blindfold either. That just makes everything so much worse. I guess because I can't see, I began to listen more intently. The helpless cries of the other children echo off the walls of the cramped room. I'm so scared, it feels like my head's going to explode. What are you doing to me? Why am I blindfolded? Untie me. Cut the ropes. I want to be able to use my hands and feet, please. Please. I kept begging and pleading, but all I heard in response was a man walking away from me. In order, okay? In order. I've never heard screaming like this before. It's pure, primal terror, cutting through the air like a perfect sine wave. It's the boy at the end. Feels like he's been screaming for an eternity, I think. He's being killed right now. My God, what the hell is he doing to him? No one deserves this. Why isn't God allowing him to fall unconscious so he doesn't have to suffer? It's been at least a half an hour now. Those inhuman screams of a young boy being ripped apart from the inside have finally come to a halt. No, no, no! Without even a single moment of silence, the first of the girls in line is next to scream for her life, and the symphony goes on. God, I can't take any more of this. I'm losing my mind. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Is it still going on? Come on, just die already. Die already? God, what is wrong with me? You know what? I don't care. Just get it over with and leave me in peace. Finally, after hearing a sound like a heavy object being dropped, the noises stopped and the room grew quiet again. Those footsteps are getting closer. All my hair standing on end at this point. Everything below my stomach feels like it's frozen, like I've suddenly been stricken with severe diarrhea. In order. God, why am I relieved? Oh, which means it's my turn now. Someone's got me by the hair. They're pulling my head up and taking off my blindfold, which means I get to see the face of my killer. The 4 missing children were found in a basement room at Heavenly Host Elementary School, unused and officially sealed since the building's construction. When authorities entered, they were greeted with the inhumanely horrific sight. Inhumanly. Based upon the evidence at hand, the murder weapon was determined to be a pair of large sewing scissors found in the hands of the accused. Investigators suspected some hesitation on the man's part. However, as the deceased victim's wounds did not indicate that his full strength had been used, nonetheless, he had clearly acted with extreme malicious intent. Okay, there's another clue. He hadn't used his full strength, right? So maybe it wasn't done by him. Maybe it was somebody smaller. The official cause of death for the 3 murdered children has been listed as loss of blood following removal of the tongue. But the actual state of affairs was not quite so clinical, nor even so pleasant, if you can believe it. The following details have been extrapolated from information previously unreleased to the public, or at least previously unreported by news outlets. These details of the crime are based on the official police testimony of Sachiko Shinozaki herself. Evidently, the victims were bound, blindfolded, and spaced out on the floor, then killed one by one. One was repeatedly stabbed in the abdomen with an aforementioned pair of scissors, then had many of his internal organs forcefully dug out. His discarded innards were found partially buried beneath the earthen floor of the basement room. Another was stabbed in the head dozens and dozens of times, to such an extent that all flesh and bone above her jawline was essentially minced away. With my blindfold removed, the sight that appeared before me was more horrific than anything I could possibly have imagined. The person staring back at me, brandishing a blood-soaked pair of sewing scissors, wasn't the large man from earlier at all. It was one of the children. It was a little girl, her face dyed red with the blood of her victims. She was staring intently at me with soulless gray eyes, and then she was the last one. She just started giggling. Oh. Okay. Well, I guessed it. I knew it was it was trying to mislead me. She was opening and closing the bloody scissors over and over again, and the sound kept echoing through the room. It still doesn't explain why. But he got pinned for it, and she probably took her name when she escaped. Maybe, I don't know. Then she took those dull, rusty, thoroughly blood-soaked blades and slowly brought them closer and closer to my left eye. How? Why? Why is it you? No! No! Ah! The third victim was stabbed in the left eye, an indeterminate number of times. until her eyeball became soup-like in consistency. She was eventually just left like that, slowly bleeding to death in horrible agony. Strangely, it was only after these mutilations had already been inflicted that the killer went back and severed the victims' tongues. Learning the truth about these proceedings is shocking even to me, and makes it nearly impossible to accept the murderer as anything but a monster. And bearing witness to every moment of this was a 7-year-old girl named Sachiko. In many ways, she's the most pitiable and long-suffering of them all. But it was through her tearful, frightened testimony that Yoshikazu Yanagihori was officially charged. Now, going back to the hunt for information on this unfortunate girl's whereabouts, it was her words that ultimately led to Yoshikazu's sentencing. Therefore, it comes to as no real surprise that sensitive information pertaining to her and her family would be withheld. That's to be expected. What's not expected, however, is that there's not even the slightest trace of this information left to find. It's as if it simply never existed. Therefore, I cannot help but consider alternate possible explanations, and I'll remind you, this is mere conjecture. But one question keeps nagging at the back of my mind. Was Yoshikazu Yanagihori really the murderer of the 3 victims? Is it possible this crime was not actually perpetrated by him at all? Think about it. In his final days, Yoshikazu was incapable of communicating with others through speech, and despite his childlike reversion, he'd always been a personable and friendly man. As the saying goes, he wouldn't have hurt a fly. All his relatives, friends, and neighbors confirmed as much, shocked to hear that such a kindly man would commit these unconscionable atrocities. He certainly had no motive for the crime either. There was nothing for him to gain from it. Then again, he may simply have lost his mind. Look at his father. It was around the same time that Principal Takamine Yanagihori suddenly began speaking in tongues and acting in a most peculiar way, not to mention scribbling incomprehensible gibberish all over his walls as if possessed. He seemed frightened of someone and would often be found crouching in the corner of his office, moaning and thrashing when visitors came by. If he could wind up in such a beleaguered state with no warning, then perhaps so too could his son. I believe that we're looking at a curse from far more powerful than anything man could devise. From the time it opened its doors to the day it closed them forever. Heavenly Host Elementary School's sealed basement room has existed as some form of cursed ground. And to find the underlying cause, we must go back beyond the infamous kidnapping and murder incident. Back a whole 20 years. I believe I may have found a clue that could shed some light on the situation. It may be a bit far-fetched, as leads go, but it is a lead nonetheless. Regrettably, since Heavenly Host was not only closed down, but demolished altogether, and another school built in its place, it's no longer possible to investigate the basement room directly. But my protege has found what may be the next best thing. Something that could make the impossible possible once more. Preparations are being made to pursue this lead even now. Be sure not to miss the next installment. It may be the scoop of a lifetime. Go Kabiki. Continued in Chapter 5. So we'll get into the what really happened. But it doesn't, I don't know, I wonder, have we gotten any clues about what's really happened? We've gotten a couple, I guess. Something about somebody and their sister. Probably that one spirit that's been making its way across the room. Whatever it is, it's in the basement. Actually, that might be where that spirit's been heading to. throughout the last couple chapters. Well, that one lasted over an hour, over 30 minutes. I'll probably just cut it in half. Honestly, these are just voice actors, aren't they? I don't really need to watch these. Well, let's see if we can fit a few more deaths in this episode before we move on to chapter 5. We didn't actually get the extras yet. Okay, well, I'm going to jump to the next death. Okay, so the first death, the one that we missed, had to do with Naomi. So he thinks he sees her. There's the cell phone. It starts to ring. There it goes. It's ringing, but screw that phone. Try to leave the room. Should open up now. Oops, not that one. Kick the door in. There she is. Naomi, dumbass, what the hell do you think you're doing? Alright, now we leave the room to go find a bucket. Isn't there anything I can use? And go back in. We know how this ends. Naomi? I'll save you. No! I didn't make it. No, it can't be. Ah! There we go. Yeah, she pooped herself. A good friend who's been smiling and laughing with me in the classroom only a few hours ago was now dead, dangling limply from the ceiling in a dismal, dingy bathroom stall. The mere fact that this had actually occurred was more frightening to me than any ghost. When I finally came back to my senses, I found myself running, as if my life depended on it. I think it was wanted to get out of here, get away from her body. I really think I just wanted to pretend like it never happened. It's all a dream. It can't be real. But my compromised mental state couldn't hold me back for long. I knew I had to face her again. Okay. So. Yeah, screw that. We're gonna look at a dead body. Oh, I should go pay my respects. Oh, okay, never mind. I guess I have to do this. Naomi? Naomi, I'm so sorry. I couldn't save you. It's my fault. What do I do now? Now can I leave? Big brother. Yuka! Damn it, I completely forgot. I left her all by herself. She went outside to pee in the woods by the outdoor walkway. Wait for me, Yuka, I'm coming. I've had enough loss for one day. if I were to lose you too. Yeah, we know the ghosts can, oh, whoops, I did that before. We know the ghosts can make, voices of other characters. Because they did it to Ayumi to get her to jump in the pool or get knocked in the pool. Okay, somewhere in here. I think. This death has something to do with the infirmary. The walkway just leads to the bottom of these stairs to the right. Oh, we gotta do this again. Wow. I'm amazed the game lets you play it this far, even though you've technically lost. It's not here. Why? Why is the wall here? Okay, we saw all this. Stewing in my misery. Oh. I couldn't even say how much time passed. But the silence was broken by a sudden rumbling. The entire building began to shake violently. Damn it, another earthquake. You've got to be kidding me. Oh, so it just skipped the other character's part. I won't get anywhere by wallowing in self-pity here. Yuka, I swear I'll protect you. Please wait for me. I'm going to find a way back to that other building if it kills me. Who is that? It's okay. Calm down. I'm a friend. Are you alright? Please, help me. Help me, please. Her front tooth is missing, and it doesn't look like an accident. My name is Mochida. I'm an 11th grade student at a school called Kisaragi Academy. And you are? My name is Toko Kirasaki. I'm an 11th grader at Byakuden High. Okay, may I ask how you got here? There was this charm from the internet, and we tried it, and all of us were brought here. A charm? Same as us, then. They all said we tried to get out of here together, but then one of them, Yuya, went out of his mind, and he pushed one of my friends down the stairs. He killed him. Then, with a smile on his face, he started playing with the body. I ran as quickly as I could. That's horrible. Everyone's going to go crazy in here. I can't trust anyone. Go, get away from me. Okay, I'll go. Just please, try to stay calm. Get away! Okay. And let's go check on her. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Did I do that right? Yeah, it seems to be the right thing. Maybe I gotta go further. There's something here, I just don't know how to trigger it. There's a place we haven't been yet. We haven't been able to get into the science lab. Oh, it started the music again. Oh, he didn't even know she was in there. Damn it, why? Why would you do this? Why do we have to die here? Give them back, you piece of shit, school. God damn it all. Maybe I should have done that. Her usual bright, cheery expressions is nowhere to be seen, and the realization suddenly hits that it will never be seen again. Shinohara. Her eyes are open but empty. There's no trace of life left to be seen. Why? Why is this happening? Okay. Maybe I had to do that. I did it again. I keep going into the boys' room. Well, according to this guide I have, it says I just have to talk to her again to get the, I don't know, the other death. Maybe I have to do something else to trigger it. We never did find out what was on this cell phone. This is Shinohara's, isn't it? Seiko seems to have been in the middle of texting someone when she dropped her phone. The text entry window is still open. While confirming the phone's owner, Satoshi wound up inadvertently reading the whole thing. Shinohara. I'm sorry, Shinohara. I really didn't mean to. Oh, maybe he's upset because he read her message. Yeah, there's something up with that spirit. It's got something to do with the story, I think. Oh yeah, we'll never be able to get that thing now. Oh, maybe that's what I gotta do. Someone else needs to lend me a hand. So I go to see if that girl will help me. And I don't think it's gonna go the right way. Wow, this is a very complicated ending. Like, you can continue playing this thinking you're going to live, you're gonna make it. And you're just going down this rabbit hole of death. There it is. Have you come to kill me too? No. No, of course not. Get a hold of yourself. We just talked, remember? I ain't done with my homework yet. So you think I'm just gonna sit back and let you kill me? She's got a pair of scissors. There it is. I'm so sorry. Damn. Can't stop bleeding. It hurts. I think you struck an artery. No! I'm so cold. I think I'm dying. So cold. Yuka, I'm sorry. You're on your own now. I'll come for you. Yeah, there it is. Wrong end. Well, I managed to get one more ending. I wanted to get them all, but... Alright, I'm gonna... Oh, okay, but that did open up a new story thing. Well, that's good. Okay, well, we got 2 more endings to do, but I'm in this episode here. Later, guys.